prototyping a circuit with Arduino, it can be pretty easy. What Arduino has a number of inputs and outputs, which actually double as outputs. So there's digital ones, and then there's analog ones. All right, and when we get to the specific applications, we'll see which ones we use analog for, and which things we use digital for. And the analog ins and outs, and the digital ones are served as ins and outs. Your Arduino can also power your circuit with either a 5-volt or a 3-volt, and then you can ground everything here as well. And there's a few other things that we tend not to use here. So basically, what you do is you take, when you're prototyping something, you have these sort of handy things, and I'll show you how I have my Nano hooked up. And you just sort of plug wires in here, and then you bring them over. Oftentimes what we use is a breadboard. So the breadboard here, here's a nice small one. It's great for prototyping because what you get is sort of automatically linked sections. So, for example, these rows across here are all linked up. So if I plug something into here, and I plug something into here, those two now connected, the green and the red wire. So for example, if I wanted to move something to ground, I would plug a wire into ground here, and then I can plug it into, or let's use one of the digital ports. I can plug it into, say, digital 7, and then I could bop it into, digital 7 into here, and then I could connect whatever I want, some kind of sensor or something like that, through the breadboard. Okay. Now these rails here, the ones that say plus and minus, are the ground and hot rails, the power and the ground rails, and they go a different way. They go vertically, or horizontally, I guess, and this is my case, and they go all the way down. So once I plug a ground into here, like if I plug this into the ground of the Arduino, the whole rail all the way down to here is ground. And same with hot. If I plug, say, 5 volts into there, 5 volts is plugged in all the way to there. So let me show you my Nano. Well, I've made a board here that I've added these terminal blocks to. And that's just so that you can make sort of working prototypes. I'm doing things like interactive instruments and such with my classes. And you need them to be a little bit more durable than just plugging into these holes here. So you can actually screw the wires into the terminal blocks. Now this makes prototyping a wee bit, like if you are building a circuit, a wee bit more cumbersome. But basically, you see all the digital ports and such, and the ground and stuff now have a corresponding block, and you just can screw in a wire there, and it makes it a little bit more sturdy. So oftentimes in prototyping, I'll screw in a wire there, say I want to do ground. Take a screwdriver, find my ground. I didn't mark this one, so we'll have to look at. Okay, I believe ground is here. Is this one there? Oops. Is that one there? So I'll put a wire into there. Might as well make it a black one. Oh, and it's always a good idea when you're making a circuit with Arduino, just unplug it from your computer, so you don't fry the board. So, oops. This point of view is hard to negotiate. So I'll put it there. You have to be a little careful with these because you can get it stuck under the little mechanism as well. We want it to be in the top of it because that's what pinches down. See how you can also get it stuck at the bottom too. You don't want it stuck in the bottom. You want it stuck up here at the top. Okay, and then I'll just screw that in. All right, so now I have a pretty firm connection. If I yank on that, it's not coming out. So that can be my ground. And I can just plug that ground now into my ground rail if I want. And I can still prototype it that way. It's just, you have that extra step of having to screw in the wire here. But then, it makes it a little bit more secure. So if you want to actually put sensors directly in to the terminal blocks, then you can actually have a working thing that you can move around and carry around without, these slipping apart like that. Oops, slipping apart, if you pull too hard. So basically that's it. The next tutorial will actually hook up our ultrasonic sensor and then show you the software end. But that's just to give you an idea of how the breadboard works, the rails and how they're all connected. So oftentimes, that's the simplest circuit just has, a ground and a hot, and then another wired from hot over, and then maybe one or two things from the rails to sensors. Okay.